Good morning,
Hey
Bill.
there's Cinderella. How are you today?
Cinderella. I don't know if I deserve that reference or not.
It's a big day, so I just figured, you were running down the steps.
It was funny last night. Melissa was like, "Are you nervous?" Like, what? Why would I be nervous? I was like, she's like, "Well, you're gonna be out there." I was like, the only difference between this and like every other day is that the channel is 1-to-many versus 1-to-one, right? It's just like one big long coaching Zoom call. So
Yeah. That's how I see it.
the biggest concern is that like I have like 2 hours in here where like no one's in there, but I feel compelled to stay in there because I said I was going to do it 8 to 5, and then I'm wildly unproductive. So I'm going to be posting in groups and communities and trying to keep people coming in and out of it. So
Yeah, for sure. So it's like a school day for you. You're going to pop out of here.
yeah, no real other work on the calendar today. So
That's cool. That's enough, though. I mean, doing the work on Clubhouse and then keeping on the other communities is a lot of work. It's a lot of upkeep.
Yeah, I worked a little late last night to make sure that I had
yes
to make sure that I had everything kind of at a place to where I was going to be okay, not really doing very much like work today. So at about 7:30 last night, I was still like doing introductions for people that I had told them that I was going to and stuff. So I love making introductions. It was like I put that at the very end of the day because I knew that I wanted to get them all done. I think I probably did 15 introductions yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Just to like people inside my network. I'm working with this newer client who is new to biz dev, so trying to get her network with like some COIs and stuff. A COI means center of influence, and these are people who like are talking to the same people that you talk to, but are not actually selling the same things that you are. So, like, whenever I was in websites, the IT people I knew were always getting hit up to, hey, can you do a website? And they didn't want to do websites. And we were always being hit up for like IT support. And while we could do IT support through the other company, we didn't really want to do it. So there was like a great referral trade-off relationship thing there. So that is around and available for anybody who looks for it. It's just a lot of people don't actually put in the work to look for it. So
yeah, and they're really like your highest percentage referral partners too. So
yes, absolutely.
If you're ever looking to start in on something, I always say start there.
Yep, absolutely right. Your COIs and your upstream and downstream like referral partners, right? The people who work on the stuff that isn't a good fit for you. And since they work on stuff that isn't a good fit for you, they're probably being asked for stuff that is a good fit for you that they can't handle. So get in there, network, figure that stuff out.
So I've known some car salesmen that were like good, like solid car salesmen, kind of lifers, if you will. They've been doing it for 20, 25 years, whatever. And they are the best at that. That's who I think of when I think of people that are really good at that technique, the good car salesman.
I talked to this guy the other day. He has a real estate brokerage here in town, and dude does some massive like numbers. Somewhere in the range of about 15 to 20. 70% of his business is coming from referral.
Yep.
Man, that's crazy. And he's got a great KPI. He goes, each year you need to have 4 new people who are going to be willing to like send you a referral, and you prove that by having them send you a referral. And he was like, no one on my team has ever not met the 4 annually. I'm like, that is a really cool KPI. Like really cultivating your referral partners and referral channels. I think that's cool. I also think that there's some problems with it because you can't really control referral volume. You can ask and ask and ask, but you need to have another way of prospecting that's a little bit more direct, in my opinion.
But, sure. Yeah. It's like anything else. You need layers.
Yes. Absolutely. So good morning, Michelle. I don't know if I said that a second ago.
Good morning, Michelle. So you've got 9 minutes before game time.
No, right? Is it 8 to 5 or 9 to 5?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. We're gonna do the hour show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah. No, I don't think anybody gets on Clubhouse this early.
Well, they do.
Yeah. Man, your boy Joey Chandler is putting in some work on that platform. And
yeah, he is. He totally is.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was actually going to follow up with him because I saw that. I was like, man, he's putting in 4-hour sessions, like more than once. Like that, you're doing this once for 8 hours or whatever it's going to be, right? And it's going to be like it's not stunt's the wrong word, but it's like an opening thing. Not like I'm going to do this every day.
Yeah. No. There's no way I can do it every day. Thank you for the article yesterday, by the way, Bill. I put in the request to launch a club, and it's so weird because like in one space it says you just have to host 3 rooms, and another one it's like you have to host 3 weekly rooms before we'll give you a club, and so it seems wildly inconsistent. So I put in the request, but it's probably not going to be there today, so that's okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I should have sent it to you last week when we talked about it. I didn't think about it. But.
No, totally my fault. Because I was like, oh, I need to follow up with this, and then just didn't do it. So.
Yep. Well, it's all good though. You still can open up your room today and do the thing. So.
I did this disc deep dive with a new client, this guy Carson, and he's a C D, right? So he's a C normally. He wants to be a D at work. Tries to be a D at work, and it's so funny because he's so just like the granite wall, right? It's like really hard to get him to smile, and even being a C, whenever I talk to him, like I check in more with him than I do with other people, right? Because like he's just so, yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, Carson, you with me? Does this make sense? And he was like, yeah, no, I'm here. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're going through his disc and we're just talking about like small talk and everything because he's a CD, gives no care at all about small talk. And it's like, God, these people just want to get on here and talk. And I'm like, yeah, man, sucks, huh? And he was just like, God, let's just see if I can fix the problem. And I'm like, I know, but here's the thing. They're not going to let you fix the problem if they don't get to have that small talk with you first. Like that's how they view you being able to fix their problems is by how they feel about you over the small talk. He's like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, I know. We're not talking about logical people here.
Okay, but right there though, okay, because as someone who does like the small talk,
yeah,
I'm not looking for small talk. I'm looking to see if you're flexible. I want to know how you respond and do things when things don't go well. Now, there's part of me that wants to get to know you for sure and trust you, but like part of my poking is if things don't go right and we have to talk about something, is this going to be an easy person to deal with?
That's really interesting. That's like next level manipulator, Jake Jordan. I'm proud of you for that.
It's the comfort of a relationship with somebody you're doing business with. I mean, it's like we all have like as business owners, we have like these rules where we don't want to work with complete jerks and but like, it works the other way around too.
I mean, for sure, absolutely. So, can you give me an example of how you would do this? I'm curious.
Gosh, I don't have like a formula. That's part of my problem. That's what eyes do. We just show up and
you got me all excited thinking you had this great like method. And,
no, I don't.
Oh man, okay.
No, but guess what? You should be excited because you can create a method now.
Oh well, yeah.
You can dive into.
That's going to be the thing that happens next, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I do ask problem. I mean, like the main thing that I do is I ask, hey, okay, if it doesn't work that way, then what do we do? What happens next? If you're laying this out for me, okay, great. What if that doesn't work? Now what? Well, it works. Okay.
Well, okay. That's why are you expecting it not to work? I'm not expecting it not to work. I'm just asking what happens if it doesn't work. Because
I just like to have a plan B. Because
not everything goes according to plan.
Yeah. You make a plan and then you toss the plan out and go figure things out. Yeah.
So you have to be able to be flexible in the moment for sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So so how did the CD work then when you were you said you have to check in with him more and he's like a granite wall and you're chipping away at him. I feel like you didn't finish the end of that story. Like, did you tell him that he needs to have emotion?
Well, no, we talked all the way through it, and I said, look, man, as you can see, this guy's 22 years old, 21, 22. He's just fresh out of college and everything else, and he works on Saturdays, he works on Sundays. He's really like putting in the work on his marketing agency. And I was like, dude, as you grow, the thing that you need to remember is that you have to be aware of other people's styles, especially as you're growing a team, right? People on your team are not all going to be like you, because if they were, you're gonna run a very tight ship, but you're probably not gonna have a whole lot of like clients because of like lack of rigidity and everything else. And he was like, that makes sense. And then it was so funny because there was a couple of times where he got, I think, kind of shocked because I'd say something and anybody else I think would go like, and this was him. He'd go, like that's how. I mean,
that's his shocked face.
Yeah, like that's his shocked face. But super cool guy. He seemed to really kind of enjoy it and take to it, and he was like, man, like this makes a lot of sense, which made me happy. So
yeah. And so did you get to nerd out?
Oh, of course, yeah. We nerded all the way out, and it's great because I don't talk to that many C's, right? Who like want to talk about this stuff. So we dove really deep into how like it gets in the way of being productive, right? All these like small talking, feelings concerned people that we have to be around, and all that stuff.
So I'm curious, on the back cover of your book, like the dust cover, right? And you got the picture and the description. Does your title say the sales unicorn? John Small Mountain Hill, the sales unicorn. The C that made it.
It was speaking of the back cover of the book, we're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, and like in the very first season, he's got to do that like massive report, and on the back he's like I even put like an about the author, and he's like wearing all black. It's very artsy, and he's doing this. And Melissa was like, "Is it too late to get one of those photos for the back of your book?" And I was like, "Yeah, too late for that."
I bet we can make it.
Hey, we could make it happen. I'm putting no effort into making that happen.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, that's funny. I do remember that because I actually only watched the first 2 seasons, so I remember that. That was quite funny. Yeah.
Man, only the first 2 seasons.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but I just don't have this compelling, Same with Parks and Rec. Like Parks and Rec's funny. It's just I just don't have this need to like tear through it.
Oh, okay, interesting. But The Office though is there.
I love The Office. I watch it over and over. Actually, now that Peacock owns it, I don't watch it anymore.
Because you just refuse to pay for it?
Well, I'm a paywall.
You pay for Netflix though, right?
Yeah, but Peacock's for one show. I'm not paying your paywall for one show.
Oh, dude, it's a lot more than one show.
I just haven't been that into all the NBC stuff.
Okay.
Like it's fine. Like when it was on, I watched it, but I'm not paying for NBC stuff. I'm paying for Disney because they've got Star Wars and Marvel, and I'm paying for HBO Max because they've got DC and some good movie stuff in there. I like Game of Thrones. Rewatch Game of Thrones. All that stuff. It's got to be more than one show for me to pass the paywall.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Otherwise, I'll just buy it on DVD. I still have one of those, a DVD player.
I still have one of those. Pretty soon, that's going to be weird when the DVD player goes the way of like, CDs. And it's just not a thing.
It'll be the VCR for our kids.
Yeah.
Melissa, player.
Every time we buy a DVD and I come home and I add the digital copy to like the digital library, she's always like, I just got to ask again, what happens if these go away? I'm like, God, if
I think that too, because it's not like what's the one that is attached to all the Walmart ones? Like Walmart. Yeah, that thing went like dark for a while. Like you could, it did. Like, and this was cool, and it took me a while to get on. I was like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and get my video like profile and do all that stuff, right? And then like they just stopped letting you get to your stuff for like 6 months. I was like, I don't want that to happen to my favoritist shows. Like I'll get in on that for all 97% of my entertainment, but I'm keeping a DVD player and some DVDs. around, my top 10 shows or whatever.
So what makes that list of the top 10 shows for Jake Jordan?
The Wire, I really, really love. I really enjoyed that. The Office, Seinfeld. Longmire might have made the list now. I really enjoyed Longmire.
Really?
Yeah, I
haven't seen a single episode.
Mandalorian's probably in that list now. Really enjoyed Mandalorian. Gosh, I've got some older movies. I've got like the Tombstone and the what else? What else do I have over there? I have a bunch of. I have probably 75 DVDs. I'm no Hill family, but I have 75 or so over there.
We're not the standard anybody should be shooting for.
Yeah, it's called gluttony.
Yeah. No, it's called working at half price books. So being able to get the half price on the half price price.
Quarter price Hill.
Quarter price Besner was really the thing, right?
That's true.
I mean, every paycheck, she'd bring home like 3 bags of like books and DVDs and stuff that she would just, let's just put this in my stash. They all have stashes up there that they can just put stuff in, and it was $80 a paycheck or something like this of like half off stuff. So like. Yeah. This is a fraction, right? Jake will tell you, like this is the smallest amount of books in the house, right? Any other collection of books is bigger than what you're saying.
This is the least embarrassing place he could put up a camera.
The least embarrassing. Yeah, I'll post a photo of the main bookshelf later on today on Morning Bill if anybody wants to take a look at it. It's pretty impressive.
It's impressive. It's just jealousy for me.
All right, so you got the 6. I think mine would be The West Wing, Seinfeld, The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Right, as weird as that is. Yep. Oh man, I don't know. I need to think on that a little bit more. Yeah, it is hard. The West Wing, though, bro, love that show.
I got to go back to that because when I watched it, I was in my 20s. I mean, it's 20 years old now, right? Yeah. So like, I need to go back and I think I'll really. They kind of invented the walking shot. I don't know how many people know about the cinematography stuff, but like they invented, and it's become this thing where when you're solving a problem, cinematographers want you to be moving on screen now because it implies action. And Sorkin, man, it
was such a dialogue driven like show and experience that there were so many shots that you're just walking, right? And it provides this kind of like pacing and urgency that kind of makes sense for a show like The West Wing or a show like The Newsroom or a show like
Newsroom.
Newsroom is so good.
I think that goes in the 10.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But yeah, now it's just called Sorkening, right? Which is pretty cool to have a thing named after you.
Yeah,
like
to be verbed. Yeah, to be
to be verbed. I like that.
Yes. I'm just small mountaining today.
Small mountaining today. Okay.
Meeting. Well, we talked about this week or last week. I'm meeting with someone on my calendar that I have no idea who it is. Be important.
Yeah. Could be important.
Could be important. Yeah, small mountaining.
I think most people would tell you to small mountain less. Yeah, don't take meetings with people who you don't know who they are. I think that's what most people would tell you to do.
Probably, but what do they know?
Yeah, right. Everybody's got their own path. That's okay.
Yes, there's Psych goes in that top 10.
What? Oh, Psych! Oh my man, I tried, couldn't do it. I've tried twice. I just can't do it. Oh, Schitt's Creek is in there for me for sure.
I haven't watched it. Yeah.
So good.
I watched one episode and I was like,
okay, that's fair. All right. I did that the first time. I watched like the first 2 and was like, and then Melissa watched the whole thing and was like, we can start it again tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, okay. So watched it straight through, and my timing was that the minute I finished the last season, the newest season was coming out, so I just got to carry like straight forward all the way through.
Okay.
Really great thing.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. The Good Place was good. The Good Place was good. It's probably not
Good Place.
It's not top 10 for me, but it was really enjoyable.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. pretty good.
Why?
So, Kristen Bell's awesome, and I renewed love for Ted Danson. Like just.
Oh yeah, man. Ted Danson kills it in that show.
Yeah, I've always really liked him, and
it makes me want to do. It makes me want to give out this or give this new show he's working on a try. The Mayor or something.
I've heard it's pretty good, Mr. Mayor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks. What's funny is the commercials. It just looks like his character from The Good Place.
Just kind of exactly.
Down to earth almost. It's pretty funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you have today? How's the writing going? We didn't check in yesterday. How did the writing go?
Good. It went good. It happens. Number one.
So I was to say that makes it sound like it was anything but good.
Well, no. I mean that's the important part. Is number one. It happens. So that was the first hurdle. No, it felt good. It felt good once things got flowing. So I, set up my little writing spot here. I'm sitting in because I'm going to write when we get done. Nice. And then I got some new ideas, which was what happens when you flex the muscles. They tend to work better. So I think I was in a stagnant spot anyway because I just felt I was actually having, and I'm assuming you had these moments too, where I was like, who's going to read this book? This is like, what am I even doing? Like, am I wasting everyone's time here, or even writing?
So the day, so Tony comes over. He takes the photos of me. I like how the photos are shot. I don't really like how I look in the photos. And while that's normally a thing, I don't normally like how I look in photos. The last photos that I got done, I enjoyed. I thought they were good representation of me. So eventually I'll be getting new photos. But I got those photos and kind of have that moment of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be super happy with this new look because this guy in the photos doesn't really feel like me. And I was doing that while at the so that's on one screen, and then on this other screen over here, I'm reviewing video and tape for the Sherpa sales course, and I'm just sitting there like, why would anyone listen to me? Look at this jackwagon on both of these screens. The dude looks like an idiot. He's got this stupid beard. Like, why? No one. And like, I'm just sitting here with both these screens just beating this down on me. And I'm standing here at my desk, and it's like 6 o'clock, like one evening, and Melissa comes around the corner because like our pantry is like right here in the doorway, and she sees me looking at the screens and knows exactly like what I'm thinking. Right. So she cooks dinner. We sit down, and I'm kind of just like a little beat up, right? Because I'm really good at beating up on myself, and so I was like, so I said to her, I said, okay, I got to talk about this thing because I was just in the room, and she's like, oh, I saw you. I was like, okay, well that sounds weird, and she's like, I know exactly what you were thinking. I said, oh, really? What was I thinking? And she goes, you're thinking that no one is going to listen to anything you have to say, and this is all stupid. And I was like, Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. And she was like, stop being an idiot, and just went back to eating. And I was like, this is not how I was anticipating working through this conversation, but all right.
Thanks for the nurturing. Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Who are you, me?
That's right. What are you, SD or something? Yes.
So
yeah. Well, and the spot I got to it, luckily, is I was looking back, and it was totally random. I was looking through some stuff that I had done when I was like 25 or something, and my mentor at the time was like, "There's always one person that you can help. There's always one person that does something that it's going to be helpful to them. So do it for them." I was like, I believed that then. I still believe that. So okay, I'll get back to it.
Man, the things we tell ourselves to indulge our narcissism, right?
Oh, and our laziness. This is hard. I don't want to do this. It's hard.
So apparently Noah Kagan, I've not watched this yet, put out a Grant Cardone video, and it is a little bit scathing. So he said,
I'm not one.
Oh, hey, Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Jan is a new friend of mine who is in the Underdog Slack group with a whole bunch of us, and he's an entrepreneur and lives in, oh man, I think I'm going to get this wrong, but Brussels.
Okay. He's in the Underdog group?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. I haven't spent much time in there yet. But
the best people are in the Underdog group, bro.
I mean, I know.
Yeah, now I'm excited to watch this Grant Cardone video because I am not.
I am too. Okay, good. Because at one point you told me something about comparing like the level that you wanted to be at around Grant Cardone, and at that point we didn't talk anymore about it. And I was like, I hope he doesn't want to be Grant Cardone because I
want to be the
guy.
Belgium. I'm sorry, on Belgium, not Brussels. I knew it was a B word. I knew it was in the UK, and I think I deserve some credit for being a terrible American and at least knowing that it started with a B. Because Americans are not known for our like outside of U.S. geography.
Yeah, and luckily, homeschool for me has helped because Belgium is not in the UK; it's in Europe, though.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All those labels are.
Yeah, they're foreign.
Undefined. God, really? Ultimate dad joke there. Good Lord. I'm actually going to be on Jan's podcast next Thursday or Friday. I forget which one I booked it for, but I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Very cool.
Belgium is a country not in the UK. Okay, cool. I'm learning a little bit every day, right?
Yep. So, Jan, is it Eastern? Assuming you consider it Eastern Europe? I'm not sure. It's right there in the middle, over next to all the Scotland and Ireland and Britain, and then you've got Belgium over here next to it. It's underneath all the Norwegian countries, so it's kind of tucked right in the middle there somewhere.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, we have maps. There's actually on my wall in our apartment here. We have a big world map for that very reason. I could just go look, but then I'd have to leave. So I think since Jan lives there, I think I'll just ask him.
Yeah, he might know a little bit about it.
Possibly.
What are you doing this weekend? Oh, so you had to have heard about this, but we should talk about it on here.
Okay.
Polar vortex hit our city, right? Our metroplex of Dallas-Fort Worth, and Dallas-Fort Worth is like a pretty big thing. It's probably, I don't know, 2 mil people between like Dallas-Fort Worth.
Sorry, my dog's going crazy. Later.
Anyway, so it iced yesterday, right? The weather has gone to just like crap. Now, what happens is that in Fort Worth and in Dallas, if it's like 35 degrees and it's talking about wintry mix, most schools will shut down and people will raid Kroger like a pandemic. Jan, you should school both of us on some European geography. I would take that course, sir. I would go ahead and put it up in ClickFunnels, and I'll buy it later on today. Three payments of $99.95.
As long as it's not a Grant Cardone affiliate.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a car wreck in Fort Worth. It was a huge one. It was 75 to 100 cars. So
my ex-brother-in-law is a firefighter in Fort Worth, and he was on the scene.
Wow.
He was working yesterday. Yeah.
This wreck happened between my house and Jake's house on the highway that we would take to go hang out with each other, right? So 100 car pile up, at least 5 deaths was like the last thing that I saw yesterday. That's insane. Like, and the photos of it are just
epic.
Actually, I have a photo. I have a photo because a friend of mine sent it to me yesterday. I was blown away by this. Okay. I don't have to really drive anywhere anymore. Look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, Texans cannot drive in ice. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing. We don't do it. Actually, we try to. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Texas drivers are horrible. Like, I'm one of those people that stays home when it's snowing or icing in Texas because I can, I lived in Kansas City, so I'm used to that stuff. I will refuse to put my vehicle in the path of some of these people. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, someone. I had a call with a client, and he was telling me about. I'm like, no way, you're making this up. And he's like, no, and he sent me the article in that shot. I was like, that was the highway that I would drive every day. So yeah, I don't know, man. 100 vehicles. I mean, that's a lot.
Well, and when I heard that Scott was down there working the scene, I was like, where do you even start on something like that, right? Do you just like start on the edge and just start pulling cars back and sorting through the pile? Like, what is that? Like, that is,
I mean,
crazy.
Like, can you imagine being like one of like the middle 5 cars and just having to sit there, right? I mean, if you're
not moving.
Yeah, if you're conscious and just kind of, oh man, nightmare.
Well, and I would imagine that, if it's 100 cars, let's say 80 to 85 of those people are perfectly fine. They just slammed into a car, and so you got to figure out how to get out of the middle of that.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's just crazy.
The jaws of life probably earned its cost yesterday, I would say.
Yeah, that's full depreciation earned yesterday on that bad boy.
Had a pretty big breakthrough with a guy yesterday. This guy Dan I've been working with. He's also in the Underdog group. I'm trying to get him away from charging by the hour because this is important. You're never incentivized to do your best work as fast as possible whenever you're being compensated for like an hourly rate. So stop charging hourly. Start charging for the project. Start charging around the value that you're going to provide or the outcomes you're going to provide. Stop charging hourly. It was so funny because in this conversation with this guy Dan yesterday, he was talking about a number that he wanted to hit. And at first he said, well, for this client, about 20 hours, and we're going to charge this. And then I was like, no, you should double that. And he's like, I don't have 40 hours a month to give this client. And I was like, no, you don't double the time. You double the rates, sir. Yeah. And you start there and then work backwards down to like a number that you're okay with. But dude, you're massively undercharging. This is the same guy who made the Sherpa logo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way you should be charging what you're charging. Like charge everybody else way more.
Charge me that as a gift for helping you charge everyone else more.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Now, can I have a discount?
I have a few of those. Ever raise my prices, please. But
yeah. Man, it was a really cool day yesterday. We had the Underdog chat, which is like this kind of, it starts at noon and then it goes as long as it goes, right? So people will kind of come in and come out and drop in, and like I'll have calls and coaching sessions, so I'll drop out and then come back in. It went until 6:30 last night, from noon until 6:30.
That's why they said it was epic. Okay, I was like looking at comments. I was like, oh, cool.
No, but like that's normal. Like the past, I've probably been on 7 or 8 of these, and they all kind of do something similar to that. It's great.
So is it on Discord where they just spin up a channel on Discord on video, or is it like a Zoom call or?
It's a Zoom call.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy because like there's this woman Holly who's like a mobility coach, and she's from Australia, right? So she logs into this thing, and it's like 5 a.m. in the morning, right? And so she's getting up to like hang out with us, and it's just really cool. Like there is a way to digitally network, and it works well. You just have to find like your spot and your way of doing it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say last night I spent some time on Clubhouse in some specific groups, and it's like any other type of networking. When you get in a group that you share a lot of, potential partnerships with, or values, or different projects that make sense because they're aligned, that the networking is just so much better.
For sure.
It's so much more quickly, and you match up with people in the group really quickly. And so an experience like that last night in Clubhouse was a really good fit for me to be there. And, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I'm excited to get more into Clubhouse. Yesterday was really kind of my first day like playing with the platform because I've just been busy, and I was trying to make it like this is the day that I'm launching on here. So I was trying not to play with it too much, but man, there's some rooms in there like for sure, and some people doing some business off of it. A guy I know who I follow, he does joint ventures, and he's like a joint venture broker, and he's already talking about how he's generating, like really great money from there just because like the player pool is so shallow. And just if you can get in there and your stuff, like it just works. So,
and somehow like every celebrity found out about this before everyone else because there are so many. I saw
a room for like Maroon 5 last night talking about like touring.
There's like some massive celebrity power in Clubhouse right now.
Yeah, and I think that's because of how they launched it. Right?
Probably.
Like,
yeah,
it's very, it's very, very, very small, invite only, 1-to-1 kind of deal. I like the idea that you can go see who nominated other people for the thing, because I've heard that if you act like an idiot on there and you get banned, the person who nominated you gets banned as well. So
interesting. Be careful with those invites, people.
Yeah, okay, because I I have one friend, and he messaged me, and he was like, "Hey man, you got an invite?" And I was kind of like,
Yeah,
"Yes."
I was going to say that. I was like, I may or may not have invites, but I give them out sparingly. Like I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting, right? Because I got some suggestions while I was on the app, like, hey, so and so just requested to join, and you're connected to them. Do you want to send them an invite? I'm like,
Yes.
No, I don't.
Do you want to move them to the front of the line? Nope. Nope. They can wait.
Yeah, they're in my roommate category now. If I won't have them as a roommate in my house, then you don't get an invite. Sorry.
So Jackson and Scarlett are like the only two people you've invited. Is that in the dog?
Yeah, they're the qualification. And even Luna I probably wouldn't invite. She's crazy.
So Monday is supposed to be like 1 degree, which is ridiculous for Texas. Like Texas, like if you're not familiar, for essentially for Jan only, who's still watching, the like Texas is known for being kind of like warm and dusty and very cowboy-ish, right? So 1 degree is like we're not prepared for this. It's going to be
no. It's like freezing is cold for us. 32 degrees, 0 Celsius is considered like, whoa, it's really cold outside today, people. Yeah. And no, we're going to be well below that.
Yeah, we might have.
As you saw, 100-car pileups happen when it goes below 32. It goes below 0.
Pileup. Good Lord, right?
It's a mess.
I love to make the joke that like they shut down the schools whenever like it's even close, but after yesterday, that apparently it's well warranted. So
I'm very comfortable with my homeschool decision.
Yes, I'm really glad that I went to the store on Wednesday and don't have to go really anywhere until probably Tuesday.
I know, and I got to go today probably. So wish me luck. Luckily, it's not that far down the street. So
good luck with that John Wayne toilet paper that you're going to pick up today.
John Wayne toilet paper.
Yeah, rough, tough, doesn't take shit off anybody.
Oh yeah,
that's what they call it in the Army. That's what they call it in the Army.
It makes sense. It's my father-in-law was in the Army for years and years, and he said they used to call like really bad coffee fire water in the Army. Mm-hmm. He said so. He's like, "Oh, I've got less fire water. That's okay." And like fire water. Like, and he had
what are you putting in there?
Yeah, like this one's actually. I'm intrigued. What is this, like fire water? Are we drinking it this early in the morning? Yeah, that was a shot.
You're like, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean like Fireball.
Thanks, Dad.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh God, Fireball. No, can't do it.
Yeah. Ooh, you love it or you hate it.
I had a really long night with a bottle of Hot Damn in a drinking game.
Ooh.
Everybody else was drinking beer, but I didn't like beer at the time. I was this is pre-Army, and when I thought I was too good for lots of things, I learned in the Army that is not true. Dita is here, and so come on, and he makes toilet paper jokes. Go figure. I mean, yeah, Dieter, it was just for you.
Yeah,
just for you, sir.
A good joke's a good joke.
Good joke is a good joke. So we're playing this dice game, right? And one person, if you roll a 3, anything that makes a 3, anything that adds up to 3, one person has to drink. And I got selected to be this person because, a roll of the dice. And I was stuck as this person. I couldn't get off this person for like an hour and a half. And I'm the only person drinking hard liquor and everyone else is drinking beer. So by like 8:15, I am just smashed and slaughtered. And so Melissa loves atomic fireballs, right? So like she'll pop one in and work on it for a little bit. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, and I'm like, I can't even be in the same room with her. Like that's how sensitive it is. Oh man, cinnamon. Oh.
That is such a good illustration of classic John. Everyone else at the table is drinking beer. And John wants to make his life as difficult as possible for himself. So he brings not just hard liquor, cinnamon.
Yeah. Cinnamon syrup. Yes.
Oh, classic.
Classic. Yeah. Classic John.
Classic Mountain.
I love that Dieter's timing is just so epic that he lands just in time for the toilet paper joke.
Yeah, he pops in, you know.
I wasn't even going to make that joke, actually. And then I was like, it's too good not to.
It's good. Anything that has to do with John Wayne, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, I'm down.
Yes. Okay. All right. So how many words have you written this week?
2,200.
2,200. Okay.
And I only wrote 2 days because that's when I got my slap on the wrist from everybody.
Yeah. So
I'm my 1,000 a day's worked so far. We're going with an average here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say. I think there's 5 days this week, and 2,200 words does not average out divided by 5 to 1,000 words a day.
Well, no, I've only written 2 days, and I'm over 2,000. So
okay,
I can only measure what I've done.
That's fair. So what does next week need to look like for you to be on the path?
That is a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know the answer to that.
Is it 3,300 words next week? A little bit of push.
Man, okay. I thought you were just like.
No, I'm being serious. This is why we're here. Accountability, right?
No, I know. I was like, well, I'm not an idiot, but I think that means 5,000 words. That's 1,000 a day.
Okay.
No, I see what you're saying though. Yeah, because
can you do 1,000 words a day?
Can I? Absolutely, I can do it.
Okay, so why aren't you doing it?
I am now.
You are now.
I'm going on day 3 right now. Today's day 3 of 1,000 words.
Dieter is going to read my book this weekend. He is committed.
Got it. Your book is on my to-do list.
Nice. Dieter was on the pre-read list. So thank you, Dieter. Man, I would love your feedback.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean, streaks are awful helpful to be on. So I'm on day 3. This will be 1,000 words, 3 days in a row.
Okay.
So the plan is to do it again. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. Was it yesterday? Like the environmental design. Like I have a place to write now, and I have a setup, and I've got the voice to text working, and so like I'm in a good spot to continue my streak.
The voice to text thing to me just seems like I'm not actually knocking it if it's helpful to you, but it just seems like an unnecessary complexity. Right, because then
John Hill.
Because I know, right? Like it's a little bit of the pot caught in the kettle black, but I can just see you being like
paradox,
comma, italicize. Yeah. He said, you know what I'm saying? Of all of that additional stuff that you have to do and speak, so that way like the vocally or the dictation software works. I mean, I would just rather write it.
no, because see, I'm going to pay $8,000 to $10,000 to Melissa to fix all that for me.
Yes. That's going to be the bill rate. The non-bill rate is going to be a little bit more expensive because the book is so good. I can't. I'm like equal parts like terrified that it doesn't do what I want it to do, or people don't like it and everything else like this. And I'm also the other part like so excited for people to like really see what she's capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she doesn't know this yet, but when I put her on the freaking cover of this thing, she's going to lose her freaking mind. It's going to be so good.
She will. And she has absolutely killed it, and she will hopefully get lots and lots of offers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for her.
Yeah. I mean, if you have nothing else, dude, she loves books so much. To have her name on the front of one is a gift in itself.
Don't make any mistake that I'm not claiming this is like the best like get out of jail free card, right? Yeah. So like later on, when I forget the anniversary, hey, I put you on the cover of a book.
Yes, like I made you an author. You are a co-author now.
Yeah.
It's true. That's true.
I know I didn't take out the trash. I did not rely on the trash bag, but book. I'm gonna wear that out. It's just gonna be like.
No, you need to save that one. You need to save that for the big ones. You'd be like, yeah, the big ones. You need to save that one.
I'm gonna do it for everything
daily.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just gonna leave the water running and walk away, and she'll be like, "What the hell? Hey, book." And just leave.
Book.
Right. Yeah.
She's gonna hate you so much. You're actually gonna make things worse.
Yeah. What? You guys were together for like 17 years. What happened? You know, we work together.
Yeah,
that's true, Peter. Yes, that will last about 3 days.
And you might be being generous because Melissa will call that in 3 hours. She'll be like, "Nope, we're done with that." No.
It's always nice when you have people around you who are going to call you on your stuff. Melissa's the first person to call me on my stuff. Like faster than my accountability buddy that I've been having a morning show with for like almost a year now. Like Jake doesn't even get on me about my stuff as quickly as Melissa does. So it's kind of the reason why I get so much done.
Yeah, she swims in it though. I just kind of dip my toes in the pool every day, and she's like swimming it all day.
Man, yeah, the deep end is not where you want to be. It's rough over here.
That's right. I'm a shallow end guy.
Shallow end guy. Okay, cool.
Just give me my sun. Give me a little water. I'm good.
I had a question for you about James.
Okay.
But I don't remember what it was now. It'll come back to me in a second. What were you going to say?
I was going to ask if you got everything cleared. Like you said, you worked late. You're only doing the Clubhouse thing today. Did you actually get everything cleared you want to get cleared?
No. Of course not.
Not everything. I just
there's not enough hours. How you ask that question and then you immediately have to go in there. Well, okay, like not everything.
Yeah. But like, will you be able to sleep tonight after this is done? That's what I'm asking. Like,
you
cleared the deck.
Yeah, I booked out the time on the calendar, right? So like no one could really book today. So I'm not pushing any calls. I'm not doing anything like that. Of course, it's going to feel very, very weird to just essentially like sit here and look at my phone all day, especially when I spend so much time talking about not looking at your phone all day.
Deliberate.
So
it's deliberate though, so it's good.
Yeah. So no, I don't really know how I'm going to feel at the end of the day. I told Melissa that this will probably be one of the easier days that I've had in a while, just because.
Well, you're gonna be sitting in your favorite zone of just like unpacking stuff for people. So, are your screens? Are you gonna have like stuff up to like set the mood, or you have wallpapers? You're gonna have like background music. Like, let's set up the environment for me here in front of you.
Oh, Jake, this is the difference between you and me. I'm just gonna sit right here and do it until the calendar tells me to stop doing it. Right. So like at 5 o'clock, and this is so weird because I try to explain this to people and people don't get it because they think it's like a slog or something. It's not a slog. I just don't trust myself to make the disciplined decision in the moment. So I rely on my calendar to force me to make, hard decisions, right? So that's why I try to put the hardest things to do first because I'm going to find reasons to not do it later on. So I just don't trust myself to have future, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline, right? So the calendar is kind of like my outsourced version of discipline. So
well, no, I meant like when you're 2.5 hours into this thing and like there's not somebody on the phone, like you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the next scheduled person to show up, whatever. Like what's that look like for you today? Are you just going to continue to stare at the phone blankly?
It's like the worst version of like a Mervyn's commercial. I'm just like open. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that between like the Underdog Slack and some of the other communities I'm in, I can just kind of like pop in and kind of say, hey, anybody available for about 30 minutes or 15 minutes or even 5 minutes, come in here and role play or like ask me some sales questions and stuff like that. So that should be the thing. The soundtrack of Kung Fu Fighting is going to be playing in the background. It's going to be Kung Fu Fighting and then Everybody Wang Chun Tonight, because like those are the two songs that everyone references whenever I talk about Kung Fu.
Yep. So, all anybody knows.
Yep, that's it. So no, I don't really put a whole lot of thought into the environmental design, right? Which is like one of the big differences between you and me. Like if it's a task, just do the task. Let's just go. I don't really care how I feel about it. Let's just do the thing. So now that being said, whenever there is nice like ambiance and environmental like design, like I appreciate it, but I don't go out of my way to build it. Like my desk is like a mess. A friend of mine is a gamer and was talking about how she had glued her like cable management stuff like to like the bottom of the desk, so it's all like super nice and clean. And I was like, let me show you mine, and sent her a photo of it. And she was just like, how, what? Yeah, one tear. And I'm like, I might be moving in a couple of months. There's no real need to get it all like cleaned up and spick and span now.
Oh, John.
Just that way I have to move and,
right,
but
right.
we might not be moving.
What about the next 4 months though? Like
we might not be moving.
Do those not matter to your life?
Dude, I mean, yes, they do. Okay, I was about to say, are we really having this conversation?
No, I kid. Because you keep joking about moving, and I'm like, yeah, that's like 5 months from now. You have days between here and there that you still have to do those days.
Yes, yes. Days.
So you might not be moving though.
Maybe not. We're in conversations about potentially not moving in some different ways of doing that. The person who owns the house had gone down to UT Austin for a master's program, and now she's done with it. And now she's like, well, I was going to move back, but I might be moving away. Depends upon the job market and stuff. So yeah, I love this house. And I think part of the reason why I love this house so much is because I've struggled so much in this house, right? Mm-hmm. The old house I was in for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. And I don't miss it. I don't think about it, which is a little bit weird. But like this house, I'm going to miss a lot just because of, the struggle,
Yeah.
Did a lot in this house. So.
Well, that's interesting because you struggled in the other house too, just a different way.
I did, but like, yeah, that's fair. I really kind of feel like I grew up in this house, which is weird because I'm 40, so like I kind of feel like I grew up between like 38 and 40, and I think a large part of it is like going like out on my own and having to go through that phase of I really didn't think I was going to make any mistakes. Like I thought I was just going to be crushing it at the level I wanted to be crushing at without any concern at all because I had worked with Jeff and we built a website design company. Man, what a stupid thought that was, right? Because I think I've made every mistake you possibly could since then. And you just have to like lean into it.
Then you bought a Grant Cardone course and your whole life changed.
No, sir. No, sir. I've never read a Grant Cardone book. I will. That guy gets none of my money. Screw that guy.
I can't even get through a YouTube ad of his.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, just in your face about it, and like same guy who's like so good that at the beginning of COVID had to lay off like 40 something people, and then told someone that it was the best time because like no one's going to sue him over it. Yeah, like no, yeah. If that's the standard, I think we can raise the standards a little bit.
I think so. I think there's a happier outcome than that. Okay, well.
All right, so 5,000 words for you next week.
Yep, 5,000 next week.
Okay. If you don't do it, $500.
Yep, done.
Okay. What else? So that's your work goal.
Yep. Three lifts next week. I'm back in lift.
Okay.
Like 3 lifts. 3 reps. That's it. All I have to do 3 reps all week. No, three sessions of strength training next week. And let's see. That's the 2 major ones. I mean, that's the 2 things I'm really zeroed in on.
What about
I've got
kids, family, relationships?
I've got. I'm gonna think about that over the weekend. That's good. I'll figure out a family one.
Cool.
So, 500 words, 3 lifts.
Wait. Did you say 500 words?
I did. You caught me.
I was about to say, you better add the 0 back on there because that's like 30 minutes of work.
Yeah. I know the good day it's 15.
I was like, wait a minute. This thing just said 500 words.
Okay, what do you got?
So for me, I did not do any sessions on the bass bar this week, which is the thing I'm working on. So next week, the goal is to do at least 2 sessions on the bass bar.
Okay.
The outline for the new book will be done.
Oh, hey. Not wasting any time. I
mean, so Dieter is the guy's house that I went to whenever I had the epiphany about the next book that you and I had talked about. So, so having that idea just kind of like burning a hole like in my head, and like holding myself apart from writing it out is now kind of is becoming like something I'm thinking about a lot. So I'm gonna work some writing back into my, very, very, very kind of busy calendar. So we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so the outline will be done, 2 sessions on the bass bar, and then I need to figure something out for like the family, but I'm not exactly sure what that is going to be yet either.
Okay. That works. I think mine's going to be around cooking.
Oh, okay.
Cooking with the family. I think.
Is it about how to run from COVID? Actually, Dieter, it's about how to handle it when your friend invites you over to his house
and ambushes his wife.
Yeah, ambushes his wife, and then essentially just kind of completely sets your friend up for failure. I parked in his wife's spot in the driveway because I didn't know, and that's on me. But
it's over. It's over.
Expectations were not communicated very clearly.
Or
and so then. Yeah, so he's just like, "Come on in." I go walking in, and then his wife comes in, and she's all masked up, and she's like, "I'm gonna go hang out in the bedroom because I don't know who you are, and I've been hanging around COVID patients." I was like, "Oh, I feel very uncomfortable. I should go now." And Dieter's just like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It happens all the time." And in his glorious German accent.
Yes.
Dieter's like this mountain of a man too. He's a cool guy. Oh, make this my fault. Sorry. I mean, I get it. I don't know. I think there's an extra level of expected communications around all the COVID stuff if you're going to bring somebody into the house, maybe.
At least with your wife. Maybe not with John, but like, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it cool? I invite some people over today.
Yeah. If Melissa came home and there was someone in the house and she had no idea, oh man, I'd still be hearing about it. And Dieter might still be hearing about it. I have no idea.
I guess. Maybe. It's different households.
Yes.
Different ways to deal with it.
Different cultures. I read this article the other day, and it was talking about. This is an older article, so like it was pre-COVID, but it was talking about go spend a week with with a friend, and like try to like make your impact like on that week as small as possible, so that way you can see how like other people live, because it's always like shocking, right? Because like you think that everyone lives the exact same way that you do, and then like the same standards and everything else, but that's just not true. So she's used to my craziness.
It was because I went to Utah and stayed with Jake Melton and his family, and it was a great time. But their routines are different than my household's routines, and it was nothing bad or anything, just different.
Yep.
Because they have young kids, and so their hours are different, and mealtime looks different, and things like that. So yeah, it's way different. And then of course, if you go overseas or go to a different culture, it's way different.
Yeah, I read an article this morning that was saying that Croatia is like allowing people to like digitally nomad and visa over there.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
There's a really great saying that travel cures ignorance. I think that's the saying. Like, once you go overseas, a lot of things change. I
don't know if I've talked about this on here, but I've talked about this on other shows. Like, one of the things that I noticed whenever I was still like I was listening to like every episode of the Tim Ferriss podcast and was like really following like that whole kind of crowd. Almost everybody on there was talking about how they spent time abroad, either like at school or a gap year or in college or like right after college and stuff. And I really feel like that is something that I'm not that I had opportunities to do it that I said no to, but I didn't really seek out opportunities to go do that. And I think that if I was going to go back and redo one thing, it would probably be that, So.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's a bad time in your life to experience it. So it would still open up things. But,
I mean, maybe right now.
You know what I'm saying.
Travel cures ignorance. Man, Dan Bennett is the guy who made the Sherpa logo. That is Dan.
That's the Dan.
That is the Dan. Dan,
he's got a beard. I knew he was a good guy.
He is, and he also has a shaved head. You guys look very similar. You got the same look.
Well, he's got some copper in there that I don't have. But yes, which I'm kind of jealous of. I like it. I like the copper.
Yeah.
Or the red. Yeah. Cool. Well, You got places to go, my friends. You have debuts.
That's true.
Clubhouse will never be the same.
Yes, I'm lighting the candle.
That's right.
Yeah, or it'll be exactly the same, and this will